What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone and total chaos at the club. Looking for a coach, whoever that's going to be. Is that Spalletti? Is that Palladino? Is that anyone at this moment in time? But does it really matter when we have certain players at this team who pretend to be leaders and actually behind the scenes are the architects of the downfall or part of the downfall? And we really need to talk about it because it really needs to be addressed. Even early reports right now of Spalletti saying that, the fact that he doesn't get along with certain players or certain players do not get along with Spalletti because of the national team coach could potentially already be an issue. And this has nothing to do with Spalletti, but again, with the players who at the moment, a coach is not even appointed, but they already could pose an issue, another yet difficult obstacle for the new coach to come in and deal with this thing. So besides coaching, it's time that I think as a fan base and especially as a club, we look at the situation and be like, okay, we changed coach, but what about these players? Do we need to finally start cutting ties with these players? And funnily enough, is the Italian quote unquote core, which I've always talked about. It doesn't matter if they're Italian or not. If they're not good enough on the pitch and their mindset is off, which clearly is the issue right now, then what does it mean if they're Italian or not? But before we get into it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive straight into it. Okay, before I get into it, I actually hate to do this. I wish we started this channel when we were dominating, but I didn't. And I was coming on every single week praising the players, praising everyone, praising the effort, the quality, the mindset of this group of players. Even when we had that season when we lost to Sassuolo and Buffon came out and he spoke, and then we won like 20 games or 21 games in a row, something ridiculous like that. That was a real squad. That was a reason to come on and be positive and praise every individual because they actually had the right mindset, had the heart, had the DNA, whatever you want to call it, to play for this club. It's not the case. I wish I could come on and praise Locatelli, Cambiaso, Gatti, Perin, because these players, based on reports, are the so and Pinsoglio as well, are the quote unquote leaders of this locker room. And you need to ask the question, what are they leading us to? Getting coaches sacked? Being good at sending cryptic messages in front of the camera on social media? Like what are they actually good at? Because you can bring in Spalletti, you can bring in anyone. When these players think they are better than they are, if they think they mean more than the coach, than the club, it's pointless to do this over and over and over and over again. I don't think Cambiaso is a crap player because he has important qualities. We've seen it. But he's not showing it right now, and his attitude stinks. I don't think Locatelli is a scrub, but his leadership skills are below par, and I'm being nice. I don't rate Gatti. I don't think he's a scrub in terms of I've seen worse players. Maybe not at the club, but I've seen worse players. But these are not leaders. Perin, I don't think he's a bad goalkeeper, but these are the leaders of this locker room. People who have won nothing, or if they have won something, not even as the main guys, just being on the squad to begin with. They are leading this new team to what exactly? What precisely are they leading us to? The only thing you can hear coming out of the club of reports are that they are some sort of issue, that they believe they are more important than the coach, more important than the club. They always have something to say. They always believe that, they are not the issue. It's somebody else. Locatelli, we lost. We haven't won a game in 8. He comes out and he's like, it's not like last season, because last season, tactical, it was an issue. Now it's more of a mindset. I'm like, you haven't won a game in 8. You look completely lost on that pitch, but you're telling us it's not a tactical issue. It's just a mindset issue. They're telling you that because they know they're failing. They want to protect the coach, but also themselves a little bit at the end of the day, because Cambiaso said, well, we have some fun in training, but we as fans are not having fun. This club is not having fun. The only people who are having fun are rival fans. Those people are having fun. That's it. That's it. These are the same players who got Motta sacked, Tudor sacked. And again, nothing to do with coaching, because you can like Motta or dislike him as a coach. You can like or dislike Tudor as a coach. At the end of the day, the result is the same. These players got them sacked as well. Early reports again for Spalletti. Like, I'm not a Spalletti fan at all. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, it's worth to take that risk if he comes in and he's like, you guys are a problem and I'm not gonna play you unless you you patch up, you actually get real, or the club in the summer will move you on because I expose you for the quote unquote frauds you are for not being able to play for this club. There's nothing to do with nice. At the end of the day, as a fan, and again, people in the comments telling other fans in the comments and me, because we're not pros, we cannot say these things. I'm gonna mute you guys because you have no business in doing that. At the end of the day, as a fan base, you need to care about the club, not about the individuals, because they go. It's the club that matters at the end of the day, And it's about time that this management gets serious, which they clearly at this moment in time are not. But maybe this is the turning point. You can only hope. And they're like, you know what? In the summer, we're cutting ties. This is not working. These players are not working. Whatever you think about their qualities, it's not working. Period. It's time to move on. It's time to get real. It's time to get actually players in who want to play for this club and not just pretend to be that. I saw quotes, for example, Marquisio. I always gonna root for Locatelli because he's a Juventino, and then he adds, but he's also a good player. When is it important to be a Juventino to play for this club? It's an added bonus, but it can never be the main thing. These things are wrong with the club at this moment in time. For too long, people are at the club and they're just there. There are no responsibilities. Nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody is questioning what they're doing. They're allowed to play badly, come in front of the mic, say, well, it's no crisis. No wins in 8. It's not a tactical issue. It's just a mindset. Well, if you don't win a game in 8, if you think it's only a mindset issue and not a tactical issue, then you're part of the problem. And you're saying that because you're playing and you don't really want to, expose yourself basically to the public. Because at the end of the day, we're not blind. Yes, it's a mindset issue, 100%. It's also a tactical issue. It's a mixture of both. But at the end of the day, I kept saying it when Motta got sacked. The club is the most important thing. The entire summer, I don't care about these players. They mean nothing for this club's history. If it ends today, this club ends, football ends, done. The sport is done. 20 years from now, I'm not going to talk about Cambiaso, Gatti, Locatelli, Perin. I'm not going to talk about these players. Pinsolio, McKennie, I'm not going to talk about it. The list goes on and on and on. They have done nothing for this club. But for some reason, they believe they are in control, they're leaders, and they mean something to this club. They don't. And they will keep doing that until the management steps in and will say, enough is enough right now. This is not working. You guys are not working. We need to get real. And you can only hope as a fan that this is the turning point where the club gets real and sees the issues for real at this team. And nothing against these players. Like, personally, I hate what they represent. I don't hate them individually as a person. I hate what they think they represent. I hate that. Because they're clearly not those guys. Anyways, in the comments, let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then we will preview the Udinese game with Brambilla as the head coach. Crazy times, but yeah, here we are.